Most people have no idea what a mortgage broker actually does. Is it the same as a bank? Do they charge you? Are they actually working for you? And the big one, do you even need one? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what a mortgage broker does, how they make their money, when they're genuinely worth it, and when you might just as well go direct. Let's get into it. What is a mortgage broker? Okay, basics first. A mortgage broker is a licensed professional who sits between you, the borrower, and the lenders, the banks and financial institutions. Their job is to find you a home loan that suits your situation. Now, here's where it gets a little bit interesting. A broker doesn't actually lend you the money. They're not a bank. They have access to a panel of lenders, sometimes 20, sometimes 70 or more, and the expertise to match you with the right one. Think of it like a travel agent. You could go and research every single airline, every hotel, every connection yourself, or you could use someone who does that very thing every single day and already knows which options actually work for someone like you. The difference with a mortgage broker versus, say, walking into your bank, well, when you go directly to your bank, they only can offer you their products, full stop. A broker can shop the market, and that's a meaningful distinction when there's literally 100 of loan products out there. So what does a broker actually do during the process? More than people realize. First, they sit down with you in person, on a phone call, whatever, and do a proper fact find. Income, expenses, debts, savings, history, what you're buying, your goals. They're building a picture of your full financial situation. From there, they figure out your borrowing capacity, how much a lender is actually likely to give you under what conditions. Then they go shopping. They look across their lender panel and identify which loans you're likely to qualify for and which ones genuinely make sense for your situation. Interest rate, fees, flexibility, features like offset accounts or redraw facilities. Once you choose a loan, they handle the application. And honestly, this is where brokers save people an enormous amount of time. Mortgage applications can be brutal. Payslips, tax returns, bank statements, identity documents, and the works. A good broker knows exactly what each lender needs and helps you get it right the first time, so you're not going back and forth for weeks. They also liaise with the lender during the assessment, communicate the outcome to you, and help manage settlement. Essentially, they're your project manager for the whole thing. Okay, so how do brokers get paid? Right, let's talk money, because this is the question everyone has and not enough people ask directly. In most cases, and this is important, you do not pay the mortgage broker directly. They're paid by the lenders in the form of commission after your loan settles. There are two types of commission: an upfront commission, which is typically around 0.6% of the loan amount. So on a $600,000 loan, that's roughly $3,600. And trailing commission, which is a smaller ongoing payment, usually around 0.15% annually, paid to the broker as long as you hold a loan. And that's incentive to keep looking after you. Now, I know you're thinking the lender pays them, isn't that a conflict of interest? That's the right question to ask. In Australia, brokers are legally required to act under your best interest duty, which means they must recommend what's genuinely best for you, not whatever earns them the most. They also have to disclose their commissions up front. This framework has tightened up a lot since the Royal Commission into banking a few years ago. That said, it's still worth asking your broker directly, are there any products you can't access? Are there any lenders who pay you more? A good broker will be totally transparent. A sketchy one will get cagey. Okay, so when does using a broker actually make a real difference? Well, one is complex financial situations. Say if you're self-employed, have a variable income, are buying with a small deposit, have a history of credit impairments or credit issues, or you're doing something slightly unusual. A broker is often invaluable in these situations. Different lenders have very different appetites for risk. A broker knows who will actually look at your file favorably. Another reason is you're time poor. If searching 40 loan products and managing a lender relationship sounds awful to you, a broker handles that. Now, when you're a first home buyer, the process is overwhelming. Having someone explain everything means a guide through each and every stage. An advocate for you with the lender is genuinely reassuring when you don't know what you don't know. Access to deals that you can't get direct. Some lenders only work through brokers. Certain pricing rate discounts are only available via broker channels. You'd never see these options walking off the street. Comparing apples to apples. A broker can show you multiple loans side by side with actual numbers, total costs over the loan term, not just the headline rate. That comparison genuinely is useful when you might not need one. In the spirit of being balanced, because I'm not here to just sell you on brokers, there are situations where going direct might actually make some sense. If you have a super simple financial situation, stable employment, solid income, clean credit history, decent deposit, and you already bank with a lender offering genuinely competitive rates, sometimes calling your bank is fine. If you've done your research and you know the market and you're comfortable negotiating directly with the lender, you can absolutely cut the middle step. And if you're refinancing a straightforward loan, you already have a relationship with your lender, a phone call asking for a rate review can sometimes get you a better deal in under 30 minutes. The honest truth, for most people, a broker adds real value, but it's not a universal rule. The best outcome is always about your specific situation. Okay, so how to find a good one. Assuming you do want to use a broker, and statistically over 70% of new homes in Australia now go through one, how do you find a good one? Word of mouth is still king. Some people ask people who have recently bought or refinanced who they used and whether they might use them again. Check their license. In Australia, they might need to hold an Australian license or authorized rep of someone who does. You can verify this on Asset Connect register. Look for someone who asks you a lot of questions before recommending anything. If a broker is pitching you a specific loan product in the first 5 minutes without understanding your situation, run. Ask them, how many lenders are on your panel? Do you have access to major banks? Are there any lenders you're not accredited with? A solid broker will answer all of these without hesitation. And check reviews. Google, rate my agent, word of mouth. Look for consistency over time, not just a handful of testimonials. So to bring it all together, a mortgage broker is a licensed professional who shops the market on your behalf, manages the application, and gets paid by the lender once your loan settles. For most borrowers, especially first home buyers with complex situations, or anyone who just doesn't want the hassle, they add genuine value and no direct cost to you. The key is finding someone transparent, experienced, and actually asking the right questions about your situation. So to bring it all together, a mortgage broker is a licensed professional who shops the market on your behalf, manages the application, and gets paid by the lender once your loan settles. For most borrowers, especially first home buyers, those with complex situations, or anyone who just doesn't want the hassle, they add genuine value at no direct cost to you. The key is finding someone transparent, experienced, and actually asking the right questions about your financial situation. If this was helpful, please smash that like button. It genuinely helps the channel grow. And if you've got questions about home buying process, drop them in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.